The prosperity gospel, health and wealth Christianity, the word of faith movement, preachers like Joel and Creflo and so many others. What do they all have in common, and what did they get wrong about the Christian message? Oh, let me tell you. Number one, they misunderstand the promises of Jesus. That's probably putting it nicely. They're all guilty of what's called an over-realized eschatology, which is just a really fancy way of saying they believe that the promises Jesus has made about the future, when he comes back, when he returns, they believe that all those promises are true and accessible today. Has Jesus promised healing? Yes, when he returns. Has Jesus promised prosperity, a place at God's table where every need is met? Yes, when he returns. But they say you can access it, you can experience it right now, if only you sow a seed, usually by giving a gift to their ministry, financial gift, or by expressing your faith, naming it and claiming it. You can manifest it here and now. That's what they say. But that's not how it works. You see, that brings me to the second thing. They misunderstand what faith is. Faith is not a tool that we use to get God to do what we want, but that's what they say. Faith is a tool that we use to move the hand of God to get the things that we think we deserve by virtue of Jesus's victory, including things like a better parking space at the mall or an upgrade to first class when you fly, both of which are things I've heard health and wealth preachers talk about. But how is that different from ancient paganism, where you bring a gift to the rain god to get more rain? Here's some grain, make it rain, that's what I want. How's that any different? No, faith is not a tool that we use to move the hand of God to get earthly things. Faith is a gift that God himself gives. The gift of a relationship of dependence upon him, specifically dependence upon Jesus and all that he has accomplished, who he is, all that he promises. And what he promises for today is forgiveness for every sin, mercy for every struggle, and yes, a place in his family where there will be no more pain, no more death, no more disease, and every need will be met in the future. Faith is a relationship of dependence upon Jesus. That's what faith is. Not a magic wand that we wave to get what we want. Now, why does this matter? Why is it important? Well, because ultimately, health and wealth Christianity ain't Christianity. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because it drives people further from Jesus and crushes them and leaves them with a whole bunch of despair. Because in the end, when you don't get the raise, when the bank account is empty, when the baby is stillborn, when the marriage ends, when the healing doesn't happen, you're left to either be really angry at God who has let you down despite your sowing of the seed and your declarations of faith, or you're left to be angry at yourself because maybe you just didn't believe enough, maybe you just didn't give enough or try hard enough. You see, the prosperity gospel is no gospel because it's not good news. It's ultimately a burden, driving you into despair and pushing you away from Jesus. The real message, the true gospel is this: God the Father has given you everything you need today in Jesus Christ. Forgiveness for every sin. And yes, you will have all that you want and more in the future when he returns. But for right now, what you need the most is to know that you're his, you're loved, you're forgiven, you're fine.